There's never a day that goes by that doesn't result in Microsoft putting their foot in their mouths every single bloody time. I say Microsoft, Xbox executives putting their foot in their mouth because Microsoft is using them as puppets in order to basically say, we want this, we want that, we're doing this, we're doing that. Xbox's biggest competition isn't another console, but is TikTok and movies. Oh my god, like Xbox has to be completely delusional. In fact, now I've become so brainwashed that now I'm actually combining the two in my mind. As you can clearly hear it from my voice. Like, I'm not going to be cutting any of this out, by the way. Obviously, I'm making some mistakes as I'm talking, but like, even then, it's insane. Also, Matt Booty, not a man to be trusted, by the way. If Hi-Fi Rush was anything to go by with Tango Gameworks, he is not a man to be trusted. He does not know what the hell he's doing. He doesn't know what he's saying. Is what I can say with absolute certainty. But Xbox Studios boss has claimed Microsoft is no longer sees other consoles as its biggest competition, which is an awful statement to be making, and I'm pretty sure it's actually what Microsoft is wanting him to say. But I mean, Matt Booty has put his foot in his booty before, so what's the difference this time around? So the president of Xbox Games Content and Studios discussed the gaming division's multi-platform strategy in an interview with the New York Times, published to coincide with the news that Xbox's historical flagship franchise Halo is coming to PlayStation for the first time. Commenting on that decision, massively giant ass crack claimed that consumers no longer have a strong attachment to devices they use to play games. I'll be completely honest, I'm still buying PlayStation, so I think that's completely a lie. But hey, moving on from that, we're all seeking to meet people where they are, he said. Our biggest competition isn't another console, we're competing more and more with everything from TikTok to movies. Which is, like I said, an awful statement, because keeping in mind that gaming is a far bigger... It really does feel like it's a much bigger medium than movies or social media. Again, everything has its own audience and people tend to go in a particular area. And I think Xbox is making the same mistake as what it did with the Xbox One release, which was that they were trying to make Xbox the everything machine instead of the gaming machine. But the problem is that that's been completely diluted and lost with all of Xbox's franchises coming to every platform, and they're now no longer being a reason or need to buy an Xbox, given that Xbox is now going down the path of making a hybrid PC bullcrap machine that they're working on currently for their next generation, which is obviously going to sell even less than Xbox is currently do, because it's going to be overpriced at like over $1,000 by itself. I'm just saying, alright? The PlayStation is going to dominate no matter what it feels like, and it really, really is disappointing to see just how badly Microsoft has failed. Over and over again. I said Microsoft, I meant to say Xbox. In the same interview, let's see, Bleeding Butt Crack briefly commented on the 9,000 company layoffs earlier this year, which saw cancellations of numerous games and closure of the initiative. Yes, they did cancel a bunch of games. Yes, they did, in fact, shut down their quadruple A studio and everything else in between. Oh my god. Layoffs are difficult, Giant Boot in the butt of Booty said. They are part of managing our business. God damn it, we're not doing this. We're not doing this junk again. You've already let off thousands of people. That Activision Blizzard acquisition has just been absolute pain and misery on Xbox and as a whole, to be fair. Xbox's multi-platform shift as Xbox continues to evolve its business in the wake of lower than expected console sales. Oh my god. The PS5 is selling that machine 2-to-1 at this point. What the hell are you talking about? PS5 is estimated to have outsold series consoles 2-to-1. Oh, okay. If I had just read the article a little bit more, I would have actually just ended up saying the thing I already said. God damn it. Anyway, with a continued focus on Game Pass subscription service and at the expense of some traditional premium game sales, which, yeah, no kidding, you've lost like $300 million from putting Call of Duty on like what's it called? Call of Duty on Game Pass instead of selling the game. Xbox has shipped to multi-platform releases stated in early 2024. Yeah, so that's basically what was happening. Where Phil Spencer originally said, "Hey, we're gonna have like four games going in, but it's not gonna change anything," which also turned out to be a lie. And then we ended up getting games like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Forza Horizon 5, Gears Reloaded, and of course Sarah Bond calling the idea antiquated, which, my god, have I not seen enough people put their foot in their mouths as well, on top of which 9,000 people are being laid off across all departments on Microsoft's end. Everwild is gone and cancelled. The initiative's Perfect Dark was cancelled, and then the initiative was shut down. On top of that, the price increases to Game Pass Ultimate, 50% increase, plus raising the Xbox console's price to higher than somehow the price of the PS5 Pro with the Xbox Series X 2TB Jumbo Wumbo Black Galaxy Edition. Insane. But I wanted to actually, tackle a little bit more with the idea of exclusives being antiquated, because my god, like, I'm pretty sure that everything that's being said by these people, whether it's Sarah Bond or Mr. Call of Booty, like, I'm pretty sure all of these guys are just spitting out Microsoft talking points at this point, and they don't actually exist as people in any way, shape, or form. So what Sarah Bond apparently says is we're seeing people evolve way past that. Xbox's Sarah Bond says the idea of exclusives is outdated. Xbox made it clear that all of its games could potentially be ported over to other platforms. In an interview with Mashable, Bond asked where blockbuster exclusives fit into the company's plans, given that a growing number of Xbox game studios are seeing their releases on other platforms. Bond explained that in Xbox's view, the idea of games being exclusive to a single platform has become outdated, and players now expect games to be on multiple platforms. Yes, but the problem is, in order to sell your machine, in order for people to go to your place to buy your thing, ideally you want to have reasons for people to buy that thing. That is what purpose exclusives have served for the longest time. We're seeing people evolve way past that. Like, the biggest games in the world are available everywhere. You look at Call of Duty, Minecraft, Fortnite, and Roblox, but the problem is free-to-play has kind of wrecked and destroyed that in every sense of the word, but I digress. That's exactly what's really driving community in gaming. That's where people gather, they had experiences, and the idea of locking it to one store or one device is antiquated for most people. Yes, but you can still keep trying to do whatever the hell it is that you are doing. Jesus Christ, man. You want to be able to play with your friends anywhere, regardless of where they're on, and that's where something like cross-play comes in. Cross-platform play, cross-platform progression is the way to bridge these platforms together while still having exclusives that people will refer to your machine and be like, yes, I want to play this game, therefore I will go onto that platform, but I can still play with my mates who are on a completely different platform, because there are games that do exist on multiple platforms that do allow us to bridge the gap a little bit. Anyway, as does cloud, as does PC, as does consoles, we all have our own we all have in our own living room. Jesus Christ. Basically, I'm just kind of mad about Xbox because they've given up. They've given up the fight. They've given up the console race, and as a result of that, PlayStation is going to keep dominating. And the problem is that when PlayStation makes a mistake that will make people hate them for it, PlayStation are not going to care because they've still got the numbers. People are still buying their consoles. They are still the front runner. So for Microsoft to just give up, not even Microsoft, Xbox to give up, is just absolutely embarrassing and honestly makes me genuinely angry with this whole situation, because I want Xbox to be competitive enough to where it causes PlayStation to whip themselves up and actually do something about the potential competitive nature of Xbox. But the problem is Xbox has given up, so there's no reason for PlayStation to try. and bother in any way, shape, or form. And of course, then you've got old man Nintendo at the back of the room sniffing gasoline and losing brain cells out of it while making some very interesting decisions when it comes to their consoles. Like, hey, if we brick it, we'll brick your console. If you like try to hack your console, we're gonna brick it instead. Like, what the hell, man? But yeah, with all that being said, though, I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say about this. I'm sure I tackled a lot, and honestly, like, I don't really know where to go with all of this. At the end of the day, I'm just now talking about Xbox, and the more they do, the more I'm disappointed, the more I'm angry, and the more I'm annoyed. Because I'm not an Xbox fan. I primarily play on PlayStation, but I want PlayStation to do better, and the only way to have that happen is if Xbox actually puts themselves in a more competitive position. The problem is they're definitely far from that. And as much as I talk about Xbox, I mean, like, look at the top, like, look at these, so obviously I'm on VGC right now, but if you look at, like, the most, like, popular stuff on VGC, it's Forza Motorsport is taking a backseat as Xbox focuses on games releasing sooner. Sure, Xbox's biggest competition isn't consoles but TikTok. Then this whole thing about we're seeing, people, exclusives are antiquated, whatever. Halo community lead West PlayStation teaser to announce that Halo is coming to PlayStation. And then when we finally have a PlayStation thing, it's basically just talking about what the essential games are for the month. It feels very, very different than news that is going across both of these platforms. I'm just saying. And of course, we've got Pokemon Legends selling 5.8 million copies in its first week, which is still, again, way better than anything Xbox could ever do in its entire lifetime. I'm just being completely honest with you there. So yeah, with all of that being said, like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 500 subs by the end of the year. With all of that being said, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.